Hello and welcome to Diplomatic Derivatives. In the last video, we explored the dynamics of the US-China rivalry in economy, technology, military, and ideology. But today, let's analyze this rivalry through international relation theories, realism, liberalism, mercantilism, economic interdependence, dependency theory, and see what critics say about these theories and what these theories miss. The big question remains, are we already in Cold War 2.0? Realists see this rivalry as a classic power transition struggle, the US defending primacy and China rising as a challenger. Military tensions in the Taiwan Strait, alliances like AUKUS, and China's naval expansion all highlight the security dilemma. But realism falls short. Unlike the US-Soviet Cold War, Washington and Beijing are deeply tied economically. From a liberal viewpoint, interdependence and institutions restrain conflict. Trade volumes remain huge. Institutions like the G20 climate talks create shared spaces. But here's the catch. In practice, these forums have become battlefields. WTO deadlocks, IPEF versus BRI blocks have become arenas of competing interests and influence. So yes, liberalism do exist, but in a realist coating. On the other hand, mercantilism reminds us trade is about power, not just profit. The US restricting Huawei and blocking chip exports, China's Belt and Road Initiative securing ports and infrastructure show that economics is weaponized for strategic gain. However, economic interdependence makes this rivalry unique. Liberals see commerce as peace, but here it's a double-edged sword. The US depends on Chinese manufacturing. China depends on US markets and technology. Instead of preventing conflict, interdependence is now weaponized. Tariffs, sanctions, and decoupling strategies prove it. Another interesting facet of this rivalry is when dependency theorists highlight how this rivalry plays out in the global south. African and Asian states drawn into China's loans or US counter-initiatives risk falling into new dependency traps. Instead of escaping hierarchies, they may just shift reliance from Washington to Beijing. However, critics argue these theories remain too state-centric. As Robert Cox reminds us, theory is always for someone and for some purpose, often serving great power narratives. Thinkers like Immanuel Wallerstein highlight global capitalism's inequalities, warning that the US-China rivalry may just replace one hegemon with another. The question isn't only who leads, but what system we're creating, militarized, hierarchical, and elite-driven. So where do we stand? Realism explains the power struggle, but misses interdependence. Liberalism shows cooperation, but only within realist limits. Mercantilism reveals trade as power politics. Interdependence shows peace can turn into coercion. Dependency theory warns of new clientelism in the global south. And critics remind us Cold War 2.0 may just reproduce the same unequal order under new faces. This isn't a copy of the 20th century Cold War, but perhaps, as the saying goes, old wine in a new bottle. A rivalry fought not just with nukes and ideology, but also with trade wars, technology, and global narratives of legitimacy. So, do you think Cold War 2.0 is inevitable, or is there still room to imagine a different world order? Make sure to give your analysis in the comment box below. Till then, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for my future videos where we unravel the mysteries of the changing world order. Thank you, bye-bye.